And the aria for the breakthrough artist goes to Tones&I.
Please welcome Tones&I.
In a little over a year, tonesandi has gone from the street stage to the big stage. And it's all thanks to one song that changed her life forever. Her music has sprinted to the top of the charts in over 30 countries. She cleaned up at the arias.
Thank you to Australia for letting me know that I'm okay just the way that I am.
And she swapped the van she was living in for a tour bus, playing sold-out shows all over the globe.
People don't walk past Tones. No one does. By the second song, there were always like 10, 20 people. By the fifth, the crowd was hectic. Every single time.
I used to work at a surf shop on Burke Street, which is the really busiest part of Melbourne, and there was like you could busk on Burke Street. I really, really wanted to busk. I couldn't even play an instrument at this point. One of my friends was like, you should come to Byron because you can literally just park up and busk out of the side of your van. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So I bought a van, moved to Byron Bay and started living in my van. I decided to quit my job and start busking full time. It was a decision I made probably 3 years ago while I was working selling clothing. And on the street I used to watch these buskers outside the store and I really wanted to busk. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I love playing music. It's like the only reason I do this, the only reason I ever did this. So I busked on the street, you know. I chose to be a performer before anyone told me I could. Like I didn't wait for affirmation, so I just did it myself. So that's what I've been doing, and now that all this has happened, it's still the only thing that makes me want to do this. If it was just about doing, you know, like talking to people or about just writing music and not playing it, it wouldn't be as fulfilling. Like for me, the performance and the fun that I get to have is why I do it, yeah. Let's make it Tones&I, which also means if you talk about it, it's you and me. So if you're talking about me, Tones&I, so it's like us together. And it also means my music and me, so Tones&I. Worked a job and lived in a house. I made the decision to leave the normal job and just be a street performer. And it meant I would have to live in my van. So I made that decision and I was like, I'm still playing music. It's my full-time job to play music, even though I'm just performing on the street. I'd rather live in my van and do that than live in a house and work a job I hate 38, 40 hours a week. If you replace the word dance with sing, it's really self-explanatory and it just shows a way that like, I just took everything that people had said to me and put it in a song like, I see the way you shine, you stopped me dead while I was walking by, just sing one more time, you know. You probably noticed a lot of my music is not actually about me. So yeah, I ended up writing it about like dance instead of sing, so it wasn't so personal, and yeah, and that's how it happened. I wrote Dance Monkey up here, and that's how I have to sing it. Never Seen the Rain. I mean, my voice is naturally high, but it gives me more flexibility to have fun and be a little bit more myself, you know. If I choose to release this music about me, I have to be ready to tell people and not lie to my fans and say it's not. No, I'm writing it about the girl that knocked over my keyboard and the guy that tried to steal my money and the two guys that were literally yelling out, again, 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 right in my face, and the guy that walked past me and said, you're f***ing shit. All in like 30 minutes. You know, it's definitely something that I never thought I'd write about or talk about, but I guess here we are. Other buskers started getting angry at me. Some started a Facebook group and were like, we're gonna run Tones out of town, like for no reason. They just hated how big the crowds were getting. I do a lot of things to the point where like I have like an hour's sleep. So if I say no to something, it's probably because I literally have no time, or I should probably sleep at least once in 4 days, yeah. It was about me saying to myself, why aren't I happy? You work so hard for something. You know, there's so much more to life than just achieving your dream as in career. You want to be healthy, you want to have good friendships, you want to be a good person, which is the most important thing, because if you go to bed at night and you've been a horrible person, that's what tears me apart. You know, sometimes you're gonna have off days and it's not gonna be okay, but don't let that make you feel like it's forever now and you're just a sad person forever. We all have off days. Everybody, no matter what you're doing or what you've achieved or what you've got on, it just happens. I worked a job and lived in a house. I made the decision to leave the normal job and just be a street performer, and it meant I would have to live in my van. So I made that decision and I was like, I'm still playing music, it's my full-time job to play music even though I'm just performing on the street. I'd rather live in my van and do that than live in a house and work a job I hate 38, 40 hours a week. I guess the reason why I didn't want to say the song was about me is because, you know, elaborating on that story is probably where I would draw the line for now. But I mean, everyone has, you know, their own kind of demons and their own kind of experiences that they try and shut off. And I think that they made me stronger, but I think, you know, in terms of what I'd like to share, I put it in the lyrics as far as right now is concerned, but you never know in the future as, you know, my confidence grows as a human being and as an artist, I'd be more open. And it took me so long to get my permit. It was like a year because to busk in this spot in Melbourne, you have to audition and do interviews. And then when I got that position and I started busking, it was very hard because it was very busy in the middle of the city and you could only park your car like a kilometre away. It's like hot, it's horrible. Like it's horrible when it's hot because like my van had no insulation or anything. So it was just like, also my curtains really weren't great. So like the sun would just come straight through in the morning and I opened the van door and I'm like, before I started busking, I was just singing covers at pubs and that was just killing me. I thought to myself, the worst feeling in the world is thinking that like I'm not going to be an artist. I can't live and play music without working a full-time job, and that was like really scaring me, the feeling that I got from that. One night that I had on the street, and it was a night where I'd already been busking for 6 hours, and one person ran past and stole my money, and then another person tried to lean over and play my keyboard when they were really drunk. The whole crowd was very drunk and rowdy. I said, look, I'm really sorry, like this is it now. Everyone started yelling again, and then even when I said, no, this is it and stop, they started booing me. And I was so frustrated because it just showed me like how people really didn't have much patience anymore. The point of being a busker is to like give people something more beautiful than just a quiet sidewalk, and give people something to listen to and some good emotion and some feeling and something like that. I mean, there was a part of me that always knew that this is what I was meant to do. I didn't think any of that would happen. But you know, when you stop doing anything and everything and just focus on music, it's not because it's a chore, it's because you know that this is what you're meant to do and that's all you're gonna do. So it's like, I never thought of Jimmy Fallon, I never thought that, I never thought the billboards, but you know, being able to break into some kind of industry and being able to share my music, like I was just gonna do that anyway with busking, but all that stuff that comes along with it, you just don't even think about it. You don't think that's even a possibility. I don't really think about where I am at the time when I'm doing things, so I just play it the same way. Well, I've been to one party which was like in Beverly Hills on this rooftop fancy thingy, and it was too fancy for me. And there is like the biggest star in Beverly Hills. I don't know, I don't get it. One guy had like 12 buckles down his pants and I was like, I don't understand, like 3 maybe, but what's the other 7 for? Like, there's just a lot of things I don't understand, you know. I was probably wearing something similar to this, you know, maybe a stain. I don't think I'm gonna fit in here. I'd go up every Monday, Tuesday and stay there, write music, go busk for the week. I was busking day, in the winter when no one else would busk, in the rain when no one else would be busking, I would be busking. And it wasn't about the money, it was about, no matter what, being able to get more fans. So there might be 20 people that night that would otherwise never know who I was. Even like my first 10 people, like that was, I remember I have a photo of it still. And I thought that was huge, you know. And I didn't know what was in store for me, I had no idea. But yeah, the busking was it, and I always say this is the best thing I've ever done, and it was the happiest time of my life. I was living off my music, I was living for myself, I was living out of my van, and I just did what I wanted to do. If I needed some money, I'd go and busk and I'd buy food or whatever, but yeah, I felt really free. I think that like trying to bring together as many people as possible is so important, and to show people what's the most important thing in the world, which is, you know, music and love and happiness. I never thought that my life would be like this. Things are happening that, you know, you wouldn't even see in a movie, you know. I feel like it's just like a movie sometimes, like what is happening, and it's in my eye, through my eyes, and yeah, it's really crazy. I don't know sometimes how to deal with it, but then I just like turn my phone off and hang out with my friends, and it's all fine.
Even though like my song was getting high rotation on like all the mainstream radios, that does nothing. You have to keep busking, and I didn't want to work at Woolworths.
And it's literally Never Seen the Rain is about me, like in my life, going through the motions of just kind of being comfortable and waking up and doing the same thing. You're comfortable, but like you don't experience like true success or happiness, or really working hard for something that you really don't know is going to pay off, but you really want it. And then the opposite as well. No real loss or sadness from really wanting anything. You're just kind of on that line, and it's about everyone else too. Everything's already moving at such a quick pace. It's like, what do I expect? Like, do I expect everyone to know everything about me just because they like my song? And no, but that just comes down to the people that want to get to know me and want to hear my music and what I'm about, and you know, and that's just something that I can't decide for people. They have to decide for themselves. All I can really do is be me and focus on my music, and if people want to jump on board and come along for the ride, then that's up to them. It's hard for me to really say things. It's more of an example, I think, that I need to set now. You have this connection with this person, but they don't know who you are.
Right.
And that's something that now I'm on the other side of as well. But the way that you connect with someone and their music growing up is almost like they're there for you, but then they don't know who you are.
Right.
So it's like you need to keep that in mind when you meet people. And the most important thing that I haven't said yet is all those people that came past and supported me while I was busking and let me keep doing that and not having to get a job, and made sure that I had food in my belly and bought my demos, and to the fans that have come to my shows so far. Without this, sorry, I just caught Halsey in my eye and I was like, okay, what sorry. She's right there. And to everybody else that supported my music, thank you so much. I love you. Woo! The artists that I've met that bust with me on the street in Byron Bay, like, have supported me in London, have supported me, like the people that I was with that worked and hustled with me and lived the same life as me, like, or maybe just didn't get the recognition that I did. Like, I've had support me in like places around the world now.
People ask me how I feel. I get a little bit frustrated because I don't know how I feel. But like sometimes I have those small moments when you're driving in your car on your own and you just think to yourself, holy shit, I have the most streamed song in the world right now.